Alrighty, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Bald Knower podcast. I'm your host, as always, which maybe you've forgotten because it's been 2 months since we've had an episode. But if you have, I'm David Miller, and to my left is the wonderful Andrew Watkins. So first and foremost, Andrew, we have not spoken. Like obviously we've talked, but like we have not spoken in at least 2 months.
Yeah.
So how have you been?
I've been very stressed out, Senior year is a
Yeah.
lot more stressful than I thought it was going to be. College classes are weird. We had a very deep playoff run for soccer, which is like a huge reason
Yeah.
why we couldn't record. We made it to the state semifinal, and then we got not whooped up on, but we got kind of embarrassed by a 2A, basically a 2A team. But yeah, it was pretty fun.
Valid.
Yeah, but that's really what I've been up to, basically,
Yeah.
because I've had to practice every day for the last 3 months or whatever.
Yeah. Well, your soccer team like set state records this year, didn't they? Or set a state record?
I mean, this is the first time that our school has gone to 2 semifinals in a row, and also we scored 105 goals and only let in 9, I think.
Damn.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of tough.
wasn't there a game where you just like absolutely dogged? That's
Yeah,
kind of what I was getting at. I thought it was
we-
a state record. It must be.
we
Wasn't it a
won.
record?
I think it's got to be. We beat our state quarterfinal matchup 14-0.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's a
nuts.
little crazy.
I don't know much about soccer, but 14 goals is a lot.
That's 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole 2 touchdowns. That's a great point.
And our soccer team scored more points than our football team scored against
Well,
our rivals. So
well, you know, I think we've talked about the reason why or I guess your football team and my former football team,
oh.
former high school rather. I say my football team like I played. I didn't play. No, I think we've talked on here about why they're bad, or at least mentioned the individual responsible. But anyways,
Hey.
Who cares? I'm in college now. I'm not allowed to talk about high schoolers. It's crazy. So just real quick before we get into talking about stuff, this podcast for the first 23 episodes of it was very, very unorganized. And since we had like a 2-month hiatus, we're going to do like a soft reset and fix that. So now these episodes are no longer going to exceed 2 to 3 hours unless, very special circumstances were to happen, Like an average episode should be around an hour long. That's what we're going to shoot for. We're going to be a lot more organized. And hopefully that will make for a more enjoyable podcast consuming experience for everybody out there. And also, I guess we should mention we're both in different locations since the last episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So I still got a poster back there. Not as many as I used to, but I got my Batman poster back there and I'm completely blocking it. But yeah, a lot has changed, but I still run my mouth too much and you're still Andrew.
I'm still smiling the whole podcast.
Just smiling and nodding. Yep. All right, so before we get into it, that's the second time I've used that segue. I got to get better at that now. I've got a question for you, Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what NFL player holds the record for most rushing yards in a single game by a quarterback during the regular season?
It's Justin Fields.
It's Justin Skyler Fields, baby. The man himself. And that's where we're going to start. Because
that's a great segue.
Yeah,
great segue there.
I assume you've been caught up in the whirlwind of excitement of the Justin Fields era finally beginning. I'm sure at the very least you've seen me going crazy over it.
Yeah.
I'm
going crazy over it too.
Have you watched any of the games?
I rarely get Bears games.
Right.
Like, the area we're in.
Well, let me rephrase. Have you watched any of the clips? Because I know it's hard to get Bears games where we're at.
Yeah.
So you've seen what he's been doing, the absolute tear he's been on.
Yes, it's like crazy. It's insane. Truly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's It's awesome. We have a real quarterback in Chicago for at least the first time in my life. Like the best quarterback I've watched play in Chicago was Jay Cutler when I was little, and I longed for those days for a while after he retired, which is so pathetic to
Yeah, that's
say.
just sad, man.
Like
Unfortunate.
I don't know, Cutler might have been a little bit before you were cognizant, right?
Yeah, just
A
a little
little
bit.
bit, just a little bit, just like a year or two. I forget I'm only 2 years older than you. I feel like an old, like battered man sitting here talking to you now that you're a senior in high school. Um, but yeah, it's a crazy feeling. Like I, my dad put it very like bluntly when talking about what the quarterback situation's been in Chicago, because he was very anti Mitch Trubisky like from the start. You know, I had the rose tinted glasses on, and I wanted to believe he was going to be the guy. And you know, in hindsight, I was an idiot for believing that. But uh, he put it to me like this: when Mitch Trubisky would drop back to pass, he'd put his head down. He wouldn't want to watch it because he knew the ball was either going to be 15 yards over the receiver's head, it was going to end up in a defender's hands, or it was just going to be something pathetic. Whereas with Justin Fields, he is glued to the screen.
Yeah.
I have not seen my father have this much fun watching football, like ever. And that's big because my dad is very cynical when it comes to football. Like he's not somebody who's, you know, going to get overly optimistic about the little things like I do. You got to be the real deal for him to care, and he loves Fields. He's sold on Fields. He thinks he's the guy. He thinks he's the guy you can build around, and I think for me that's probably the biggest indicator over everything, over my own judgment, over all the big name analysts, over the analytics. It's just seeing the most cynical Bears fan I know be like, that's our guy.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Now the rest of the team is in the gutter.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
The defense is god awful. Although we do have Jack Sanborn, who's looked decent. If anyone has seen my Bears mock draft I did on this channel, I had the Bears drafting Jack Sanborn in the 5th round, I think, and I said I was a big fan of his. And the Bears picked him up as a UDFA. He took over for Roquan Smith. And in his second career start, he had 12 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 2 TFLs, and an interception that was wiped by a stupid penalty. Like he's balling for a UDFA. Granted, it's been 2 games, but like I'm gonna get excited over that because there's nothing else to get excited over outside of Fields. And the Bears also just happen to have the best run game in football, which you know a lot of that is Fields as well. But it's just great. And then on the flip side of things, Andrew, the Giants are competent. Maybe.
Yeah, it's really weird, actually. I fully expected us to like. I literally said this in like our predictions the last time we recorded. I was like, we're going to be in the mud. We stand no chance.
Yeah.
And now we're 7-2. I don't really know how to feel. I'm very cynical about especially the Giants because like I did experience like Eli Manning in that whole era, but like I'm just such a pessimist about like everything when it comes to sports. So us being 7-2 right now, I'm like, it's not gonna last. We're gonna lose the next 3 games. And,
well, you play the Lions this week.
Yeah,
so
we better win that one. I mean, Jesus.
I mean, the Bears just lost to the Lions, but like the Bears don't have the talent, I guess, that the Giants do. The Giants are a weird case because, like you said, I really did think they were going to be awful going into the season, primarily because I didn't think they had a quarterback, and quite frankly, I still don't think they do.
Yeah,
like
he's just got that dog in him, you know.
Sure, we'll call it that. He's Vanilla Vic. Saquon started calling him Vanilla Vic.
Yeah.
He's Daniel Jones, I guess. Like, I don't want to shit too much on him because he's winning ball games, but like he's not really winning ball games. You know, he's got that Jimmy G dog in him.
I was gonna say he's exactly like Jimmy G.
Yeah, except he can run. He's Jimmy G with legs, which, I mean, with Brian Daboll, who I guess oh God.
Oh, sheesh, man.
I guess I underrated as a coaching hire. Brian Daboll's found ways to make him work. And not only that, he's rejuvenated Saquon Barkley, who looks like a top 3 back in football again.
Yeah.
they've been able to cook with a bottom tier receiver core. They had a really nice tight end, Daniel Bellinger, who I remember in the Giants preview that we did on this channel. Not that you were in it because you were busy, but when we did it, I said I was a fan of Bellinger, and he's been balling out. The defense has been solid. It's been very apparent. It's a very well coached football team.
Yeah.
Which is refreshing to see because there's not a lot of teams in the NFL right now that are just very well coached, and that's why they're succeeding. Like the Titans are like that, the Giants are like that, and that's kind of it in terms of like actually getting production. Like there's other teams that have good coaches that elevate the talent around them, but they're not resulting in big time wins. I guess the Vikings are kind of like that too because Kirk Cousins isn't that good, but they also have a ton of talent everywhere else. So
yeah,
it's definitely weird, and just the NFL in general so far has been absolutely bonkers, to say the least. It's it's strange. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I've not seen a single person say that this year has been like a normal season.
No.
Like it's just such a weird. So many things are like being like coming out of nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
and like people are like. There's so many breakout players this year as well, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like somebody like Jalen Hurts, who I would like to talk about a little bit.
God, yeah.
I would like to say this. I said however many months ago or weeks ago on your TikTok, I said you were talking about Jalen Hurts, and I commented, I'm so high on Jalen Hurts. And you know why I was so high on him? Because I played a Madden franchise with him. And I was like, man, he's really good. And that's why I was high on him.
Do you know what they say about Jalen Hurts, Andrew? Do you know the saying that's around him? He always gets better.
Yeah.
Every year of his career, whether it was in high school, college, the NFL, he always gets better. And that's definitely been the case this year. Now, the naysayers will say it's a lot of the scheme around him and the talent they've got around him, and they're not entirely wrong. Like Jalen Hurts would not be having the type of season he's having if he didn't have A.J. Brown as his number one receiver, or the best offensive line in football, or a solid run game around him, or a good defense on the other side of the ball. But like, who cares? I hate the argument that you take away from quarterbacks that are obviously talented just because of the talent they have around them. Unless it's Jimmy Garoppolo or Daniel Jones, it's really hard to do such a thing. And I think Jalen Hurts is a good example of that. And not only him, but another quarterback that's had a big breakout being Tua Tagovailoa, who, he has maybe the most talented receiver duo ever. I'm not going to say for sure because I'm probably forgetting. Like Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison might be more talented, but it's up there just based off pure talent. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are studs, 2 top 10 receivers. And he's got Mike McDaniel, who's an awesome head coach. I'm a big fan of his because he's a big fullback believer. They've got 3 fullbacks on their team right now, by the way. Fun fact. They've got 1 on their active roster, 1 on their practice squad, and 1 on injured reserve. And their defense is good. But like the breakout that those 2 have had, 2 quarterbacks that people are kind of counting out. Like I can remember talking about Tua in the offseason with different people, and it was, Teddy Bridgewater is going to start halfway through the year. Tua's not that good. They're going to trade him for Deshaun Watson, this, that, and the other. And look at him now. He's been unironically an MVP caliber quarterback this season. And Jalen Hurts in the same boat. I remember I made my quarterback rankings and I put him at 15 ahead of guys like Ryan Tannehill and Kirk Cousins, and people were all over me for it. And I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but Kirk's still a game manager. Jalen Hurts is that dude.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I remember talking about Jalen Hurts before, saying that like he was battling with Gardner Minshew. Well, even then it was like he wasn't really battling with him, but it was like, why is there a debate between which one of them is better? And at this point, it's just like, you're right. He has just gotten better, and he is going off right now. And he is. I'm going to say this right now. This might be wild. This might be a little bit.
Oh goodness.
Of my. I don't know what it's called. What am I saying? What am I saying?
Like a hot take?
No, well, a hot take, but it's also my casualness.
Oh, okay. A casual hot take, the best type of hot take.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Eagles are my Super Bowl favorites.
I don't think that's a hot take or a casual take. I think that's very valid.
Wow.
I think that's actually very insightful, Andrew. Good job.
A little light came on inside my heart right there.
No, I don't disagree. I mean, Philly was the only undefeated team in football up until Monday night in a game that. Did you happen to catch that game?
No. Oh,
my
a little
God.
bit.
Did you see how it ended?
No.
Oh my goodness. So, Washington had the ball, and Philadelphia, they were doing that thing where you're calling a timeout after every play because you're inside the 2-minute warning, and Washington was just trying to run the clock, run the ball. On third down, Taylor Heineke drops back, rolls all the way out to his right, and takes a knee. And it's like, okay, Philadelphia's going to call a timeout, get the ball, chance to score. Brandon Graham, one of Philadelphia's defensive ends, comes up and just decks Taylor Heineke after he's on the ground. Flags go flying. I can't remember if it was unnecessary roughness or roughing the passer or whatever the call was. And that ended the game. That's how they lost. Heineke gave himself up, and an Eagles defender who is, mind you, this isn't like a rookie. This isn't a young guy. This isn't even a new guy. This is a 13-year veteran, I believe. He's been in the league for at least a decade. Just decks the quarterback, just comes up and decks him. And Taylor Heineke, as soon as he got hit, he sprung up like a I was gonna say spring. What is it? Like Slinkies don't spring up, do they? They fall down.
Yeah.
He sprung up like a jack in the box. We'll go with that. He jumped up like a jack in the box and started celebrating. He knew the game was over. But there were a lot of controversial calls in that game, and Philadelphia shot themselves in the foot a couple times. But no disrespect to Washington. Like, they took advantage of the whole thing. Shout out to Ron Rivera. His mother died, I believe, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, it was a whole emotional moment for them. Shout out Brian Robinson, who was shot 2 months ago, and now he's a legitimate starting caliber running back, the best running back in Washington, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for Philly to lose that way, but I think, according to the analytics, it raised their Super Bowl odds because there's only ever been one undefeated team to go to or win the Super Bowl. So, take that as you will. I still think Philly's the best team in football right now, right ahead of the Chiefs. So, no, I don't think you're crazy to say that that's your Super Bowl pick at all. I think that's a very realistic outcome.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. Seriously.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. This is, it's not like you came out here and said, I think Carolina is going to win the Super Bowl or something fucking off the rails like that.
That'd just be off the walls. That'd be nuts.
Yeah. What other teams can we talk about? Because we said we wanted to talk about football for quite a bit here. San Francisco has been pretty good. Love San Francisco. Got to shout them out whenever I can. Run game's been up and down. They added Christian freaking McCaffrey.
Oh, that is something. That's crazy.
Hold on, let me say that again. I censored myself for no reason. They added Christian fucking McCaffrey. Like, hell yeah. Christian McCaffrey is like Kyle Shanahan building their offense and adding Christian McCaffrey is like Thanos getting the last Infinity Stone.
Exactly.
I know that's probably an outdated reference at this point, but I don't care. I just watched a Marvel movie like 20 minutes ago, so I'm still going to make a Marvel reference. So he's got Christian McCaffrey. He's got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle, and then Trent Williams at left tackle. All of that talent surrounding Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, sure. But, it's just so beautiful what the Niners are building on offense. And to have Christian McCaffrey, who, like I said, is the ultimate running back for them, because not only is he a rushing threat, but he's also a receiving threat. So he's got that versatile element to him. You can do whatever you want with him. You can get weird with him. And I'm sure we're going to see Shanahan get real weird with him, like in the playoffs when nobody's expecting it. I'm excited. And, this is a long-term thing because McCaffrey's still under contract. He's still under the age of 30. And the best part about it is Shanahan loves to rotate his running back. So it's not like we're going to see CMC on a down-to-down basis where he has a big risk of getting hurt.
Yeah.
And I guess speaking of running backs getting hurt, we just kind of touched on the fact that Saquon's back. I feel like we should talk about that more.
He's comeback player of the year, I think, pretty easily, honestly, as well.
I don't hate that. I think he's top 3 in rushing yards right now, if I'm not mistaken. I can double check that real quick. He's looked awesome. He has looked like prime Saquon. Like I remember early on in the season, it would have been the 3rd game of the year when the Bears played the Giants. I was stunned. There was one run he had where he God, what did he did something absolutely absurd in like the 3rd quarter. It's been so long ago now. I can't remember specifically what it was, but it was one of those runs where like everyone was posting and they were like, this is the run. Saquon's back. I was like, well, fuck, why did it have to happen against Chicago? But like, yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
And it's great to see. I love Saquon. He's just a guy you can't help but root for, you know?
Yeah.
So let's see here. NFL rushing leaders. I do believe he's number 1.
Oh.
Now, I mean, Derrick Henry's playing right now, and I can almost guarantee he's going to have more than 8 yards tonight if he doesn't already. But, you know, for now, number 1.
Yeah.
You know who's number 6, Andrew?
Does his name rhyme with Justin Fields?
I mean, it is Justin Fields.
Oh!
Doesn't rhyme with it. I'm sorry, what was... Does his name rhyme with Justin Fields?
That's something that I do a lot. I think it's hilarious.
You do think you're quite the funny individual, don't you?
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I don't know what teams have caught your eye, Andrew. I know you said the Eagles and obviously the Giants. Whether it's good or bad.
Good or bad?
Yeah.
Colts. Ooh, Colts.
Colts have been doo-doo dog water.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Matt Ryan was awful.
Yeah.
We were saying before the season, they were like, that's the piece. That's the piece they need.
Yeah.
We were wrong. We were so wrong.
We were definitely wrong.
I had so much confidence in him. And Jonathan Taylor's been like not as good. I have him on my fantasy team, and that's the most annoying thing ever. First overall pick. Draft him. He's been stinking it up. It's so annoying.
I did that in one of my leagues too. I feel you. Yeah. The Jonathan Taylor issue, I don't think is necessarily all on him. Just because the offensive line for the Colts has been grossly underperforming, at least through the first 9 or so weeks. He had a good game last week. But that offensive line was grossly underperforming. And then he got hurt. And surprisingly, when he was hurt, their backup running back, Deion Jackson, started popping off, and the line remembered how to play football again. But I do think Jonathan Taylor was a good wake-up call for me, because I was very adamant that he was the best running back in football after last season. He dethroned Derrick Henry. He dethroned the king. And then he came in and stunk it up, and Derrick Henry was like, hold up, let me be number 2 in rushing yards through 11 weeks and probably number 1 after tonight. I know he has at least 1 touchdown against Green Bay right now. We're at halftime. So, like, I guess I shouldn't doubt Derrick Henry, because I thought, he's big, he's a bruiser. Eventually, he's going to have to slow down. Eventually, it's going to catch up to him. Hasn't yet.
It's got to catch up to him.
It just has. I can't doubt King Henry any longer. But yeah, back to the Colts. Just as a whole, they've been extremely disappointing. And I think the most disappointing thing about them, at least for me, I made a TikTok about it when it happened, was when they fired their head coach, Frank Reich. That was rough, because I think Frank Reich is a tremendous head coach. I think he'll have another head coaching gig next year. It's not going to be one of those things where he has to go be a coordinator for a year or two and prove himself again. The league knows Frank Reich is legit. It's just the people at the tippy top for the Colts are dunces, for lack of a better word. Jim Irsay, their owner, is one of the biggest idiots and one of the worst hands-on owners in the league. Because Reich, if you remember, they had Carson Wentz last season, and that was his guy. That was who Frank Reich wanted his quarterback to be. And Wentz, all things considered, wasn't the worst. Like, you can build off of that. Him and Wentz have worked together before. They were together in Philadelphia. Hopefully, he figured he could reignite that spark, right? And during the offseason, Irsay says, nope, get rid of him. I want Matt Ryan. We're done with him. Gave him 1 year, too much. Get rid of him. So that pisses Frank Reich off. Matt Ryan comes in. He stinks it up a little bit through the first few weeks, and eventually Jim Irsay's like, okay, take him out, put in the 6th-round rookie Sam Ellinger that nobody's really ever heard of, and we'll see what he does. He played okay. Frank Reich made him look okay, but the Colts still weren't winning games, so they fire him, replace him with Jeff Saturday, who had no coaching experience in the NFL, which, that's a whole other story. That's a big slap in the face to everyone that worked on that team, every single assistant, every single coordinator, because, when you fire somebody in season, typically you just promote somebody from within to finish out the season. And bringing in, I hate to be like this, but a white guy with no experience when you most likely have, all sorts of qualified individuals that could be an interim head coach for your team, whether they're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, male, female, non-binary, whatever. Plenty of people that could get plenty of opportunities. And it's just this backwards sort of hiring that maybe that's not the intent, but that's the feel.
Yeah.
And it sucks. But I mean, Frank Reich won them their first game under him. So, I'm not going to doubt, or I'm sorry, not Frank Reich, Jeff Saturday. They won their first game under Saturday against the Raiders. And I'm not going to doubt him because Jeff Saturday knows ball. He's super intelligent. Peyton Manning, his teammate for God knows how long, will tell you that he's one of the smartest football minds he's ever interacted with. And if Peyton thinks you're a genius when it comes to football, you must be a genius, because Peyton might be the smartest football mind in terms of players that I've seen in my lifetime. So I'm not going to doubt Jeff Saturday's knowledge of ball, but it just feels like there were other opportunities there that maybe got overlooked,
Yeah.
It's rough. And just speaking of horrible owners, how much do you know about Washington's situation with their owner?
I just know that it's terrible. I don't know specifics.
Okay, so Dan Snyder's just an awful human. Right now he's in trouble with the Supreme Court, and he's getting investigated for I know he lied about how much money the team was making to the NFL, which was a big deal. And then before that, he's done gross stuff, like he made his cheerleaders pose nude for calendars and would send them off as escorts on business trips with their investors and shit like that, which, very scummy, very gross.
Yeah.
And now the guy is cowering down and selling the team, which is good. We want that. But he's just a scummy person. And I just wanted to bring that up because fuck Dan Snyder. All my homies hate Dan Snyder.
Yeah, exactly. I knew about the money thing, which is just literally that's the best thing he's done out of all the things.
Morally, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the one the NFL cares about the most. Because you don't fuck with Roger Goodell's money. That's the one thing you don't do. That's the NFL for you. Do whatever you want to women and minorities and everyone that isn't a rich white man. But as soon as you touch their pockets,
back off.
Yeah, you're done. You're done. Which is why Deshaun Watson's going to be playing football in a week. But we're not going to talk about that because. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that bastard.
We've treaded over that a lot.
Yeah, we have. So I think we can move on from the NFL. I think unless you said Philadelphia is your NFC pick for the Super Bowl at this point, kind of at the quote unquote mid-season, maybe a week or two late. Who do you think will come out of the AFC?
Oh God. 1 second. I gotta get a list up. I know which ones I'm picking here.
That's how you know Andrew's a casual. He doesn't know the AFC teams.
Hey,
I'm just giving you a hard time. Settle down. Most people that I know don't know the difference. Sad.
I don't know. I feel like it's pretty obvious the Chiefs are the favorite, but I don't really want to pick the obvious favorite.
Fair. Know? You went with the obvious favorite in the NFC. Want to switch it up on the other side? I get that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Texans. No.
Genius. Technically speaking, fun fact, just while we're waiting, the Texans can still be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
They're gonna do it.
Technically speaking,
They're
they would
not
have
out
to
of it
finish-
yet.
they would have to win every game for the rest of the season, and every other team would have to finish like right around 500. But it would happen.
It might happen.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
I'm gonna pick the Dolphins.
Okay, that's based. I respect it.
Yeah.
See, my dream Super Bowl. Not saying this is my like prediction because I don't know, but my dream Super Bowl would be Miami and San Francisco because fullback bowl pretty much, and you get like the mentor. The student becomes the master, so to speak, because you got Mike McDaniel and his old coach Kyle Shanahan. I think that would be a thing of beauty. That would be the perfect Super Bowl for me. It'll probably be like Chiefs, Eagles, or Chiefs, Cowboys, or something. But I want it to be Miami and San Fran so bad.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at like the halfway mark, which means, Andrew, basketball. What's happening? Tell me, because I don't know and I'm scared.
Celtics are going off. They're in an 8-game win streak.
Wow.
And they beat the Hawks last night, who were, I think, the 3rd seed in the East.
Wow.
They beat them by 20, at least 20, without Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, and Robert Williams. The crazy thing is, I have not been following the NBA very much at all.
That's like your thing.
I know.
That's your only use.
I know. You bring the football.
God.
I've been lacking on the basketball part of it.
God.
But yeah, from what I'm seeing, it's still crazy. Like Giannis going off as always. Bucks were really good at the beginning of the season, from what I saw. And surprisingly, well, I'm just literally rattling things off for no reason here.
Okay.
And the Warriors are terrible, apparently.
I saw that. I keep seeing people call Klay Thompson a terrorist.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing on Twitter. If you have somebody on your team that you don't like or is making you mad, you compare them to terrorists. More specifically, I saw a video that was like Klay Thompson's intro, in the arena, like number 11, Klay Thompson. It did that, and then it cut to like a montage of Hitler. And I was
my God. You muted yourself.
Yeah, I got off the Hitler thing, right? So
yeah, you did.
All I said was, why do we hate Klay now? He's such a likable fella. I don't get it.
I don't. I can see here.
He's got to be performing poorly, just like awful.
It's like literally like shooting 10% from 3 or something.
Oh my God, Klay shooting 10% from 3, the hell would freeze over. I can't talk.
No, he's shooting 35% from the field, 33% from 3. Statistically, it doesn't look like he's doing too bad, actually.
Oh, I'm sure the advanced analytics are
the opposite.
Yeah. His efficiency stats are
they're terrible. Does not look that bad.
Oh my.
Oh, his PER is terrible.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's where they get you.
That's where they get you, exactly.
This might be something that you like. Lakers are 3-10.
Yeah, I knew the Lakers were doo-doo ass water.
They are stinking it up. It's so bad.
They got no talent.
Yeah.
LeBron's not top 10 or not top 5 anymore. He might still be top 10. That might be too casual of a take. Anthony Davis, I know, hasn't done much. I think I saw Russ like kind of cared at the start of the season, but I haven't heard anything since. And then I don't know if I can name another player on the Lakers. Is Talon Horton-Tucker still there?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay. Who else plays basketball? I was gonna say Rondo, but I think Rondo's career just like got ended. I saw something on.
Yeah, go.
Go ahead. I was gonna
Yeah,
say I
you
saw
go.
something on Twitter that said that like Rondo's career's over. Is he a Hall of Famer? And someone was like, no, he goes in the Hall of Good,
The Hall of Decent.
the Hall of A-OK. Now, who else would have been on the Lakers?
I got the roster here. It's
Yeah, please.
Patrick Beverly's on the team.
That's a guy. That's a name that I should know.
Thomas Bryant is on the team.
Oh, Thomas Bryant's a Laker.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a Wizard?
Yeah, he was a Wizard.
Yeah.
I saw
Okay.
him play. That's why I know him. But
I know him from my career. There's my casual moment, bringing up my career. You brought
My
up
career.
franchise, I brought up my career.
yeah.
All is balanced.
Scottie Pippen Jr.
He made their active roster?
Yeah, he's averaging 1.5 points per game on 0% shooting. Apparently, that's a
Wow.
little weird. Dennis Schroeder and Matt Ryan, not the quarterback.
I did know Matt Ryan played for them. I did know that.
Nice, man.
That is something I
Sheesh.
knew because the memes about Matt Ryan quitting football to go help the Lakers were great.
Did we talk about the cat and Donovan Mitchell? Because I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. Good.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But they haven't done as well as I thought they would do.
Elaborate, please.
They're
Enlighten me.
8-6. I expected them to be like the number one team in the East.
Who's the number one team in the East?
Celtics.
Oh, right. Must be nice.
Yeah, Bulls are 6-9
Nice.
at 11. Ooh, I mean,
9, baby. I did know that.
you're one game off from the Heat.
Are the Heat stinking it up too?
Yeah, they're 7-8. I'm pretty
We're
sure
we're like what, 15 games in. All that will change very quickly.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure the Heat have been like stinking it up.
I don't know. The NBA regular season doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah, it really does. Not at all.
It doesn't. That's why I don't pay attention.
Makes a lot of sense. And then I basically do the same thing. I just feel more attention to the regular season because like that's my thing.
Right.
But like I will not watch a single game until the playoffs, and then I watch every game. So
That's valid.
that's my little confession there.
You're supposed to be our basketball guy, and you don't even watch like 70% of basketball.
Well, I watch like I watch the highlights first of all.
Go the
I've
highlight.
Yeah, the highlights. I've been starting to do that because like that's the only thing I have time for in school. I have like a free period.
Yeah, you have a life. We get it.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
I have a free period and I just watch basketball highlights the whole time. And I'm like, oh,
That's all you do.
yeah. All I do in school is watch basketball highlights.
You just sit in the corner and watch basketball highlights.
Yeah.
Yep. Are you kidding me? You're like Mr. Popular. You don't have people trying to talk to you?
No, actually, that is something that I'm very fearful of. I have like my earbuds in, and then I'll hear something even close to my name.
You're afraid of being spoken to?
No, I'm afraid of people talking to me, and I'm just like sitting there looking at my phone, and then they just like come up and like I don't know. I'm not afraid of it, you know. Whoa, man! Like,
I was gonna say this is not the Andrew I knew 2 years ago when I was in high school with you. It's a completely different person because you did. Well, I was gonna say you didn't shut up because that's not true, but you didn't shy away from social contact at all.
Yeah. I do feel like I'm in a movie when I walk in the hallway because
you're the main character.
It's all of like my little brother. He has all these friends because he's popular because of me, of course.
Of course, right.
But they will walk through the hallway and they'll all say my name, and I'll be like, I feel like Miles Morales in Into the Spider-Verse when he's walking around and like high-fiving everybody. That's what I feel. That's what I feel like.
That might be the dorkiest shit you've ever said. I'm not gonna lie to you. I respect it, but it might be.
I was flexing, and then I ruined it all.
You are the main character. And then it all gets ruined when you walk into show choir.
Show choir, and then I walk out. No, I got called Zesty the other day because I do shows.
Zesty?
Yes. Yes.
Who called you Zesty?
One of the basketball players that didn't know I do plays somehow. That's like my thing. They literally call me Troy Bolton
I
in
was going to say
Hollywood.
you are Troy Bolton.
They call me Troy Bolton. They call me Troy Bolton in Hollywood, and somehow people don't get the hint or whatever.
They just think you really like High School Musical.
Exactly. He watches the announcements, and they played the video of me singing on the announcements.
For what? Singing the national anthem?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's a thing y'all do. I remember doing that.
I hate it. I hate it.
It's awful. It was that was probably my least favorite part about choir was having to do that.
We stood there. I felt so awkward clapping and like half smiling.
Yep, because you have to do the "'Tis Allegheny." Yeah, I hated that too.
Oh my god, it's awful.
Oh my gosh, the last time I remember doing it, we didn't do it for my last 2 years of high school. I don't think
because of COVID.
Yeah, so the last time we did it was my sophomore year. So you weren't even there.
Yeah,
you were a little middle schooler.
Oh my god!
Doing what show did y'all do your 8th grade year? It was Anything Goes, right?
Singing in the Rain.
Drag. No, Anything Goes was Ethan's 8th grade year. Yeah, there we go. I knew it. Okay.
Different little munchkin. Different.
Yeah. One of my other sons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awful. I hated it because no emotion whatsoever when I did that. Yeah. And you know me, I'm a very expressive person. I don't know what that was that I just did with my mouth. I don't know. No, but I'm a very expressive person. I had no emotion when we did those. They were awful.
Yeah, I suffered through it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Is there anything else to talk about with basketball?
I'm trying to look. Ja Morant's gone off.
Well, yeah, Ja Morant. He took another step.
Let me look.
Takes any more steps, he might trip.
Oh, he took a huge step. Oh my god. Oh, no, not
goodness.
A huge step, but he's averaging 29.
Wow. One player I do know that's kind of broken out is Shea. Shea's been there.
Oh, that's what I meant. I've been trying to think of who. Yeah. Shea's going off. Shea.
He's like the consensus number 1 2 guard. Yeah.
He's getting the credit he deserves finally.
Yeah. And like I said, meanwhile, the Bulls have just been awful. I can't get over that. Like, it's to the point now where King of the Fourth Quarter on his like little second Twitter account joked and said he was doing the like trade calculator thingy, and he was offering Zach LaVine to the Knicks and DeMar DeRozan to the Lakers, and I was like, no,
don't do that.
No, trade Vooch. Please.
If anybody,
trade Vooch. Trade Patrick Williams. He doesn't know how to play basketball. He's apparently been awful. Remember during the trade deadline last year, we were like, maybe we can trade Pat Williams for Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
And then no, just didn't happen. And now we're stuck with him. And Lonzo Ball's dead somewhere. He hasn't played.
He's in a ditch somewhere, man.
Literally.
And I remember last year I thought that they were going to be a championship contender. That's a bad take.
I'm so glad I'm not a diehard basketball fan. I don't think I could handle the Bulls being what they are right now if I really cared. Like, I care, but I'm not going to lose sleep at night over the Bulls losing.
Yeah.
I don't go into a full lockdown like when the Bears lose, even though I'm in a state where I don't care if the Bears lose right now because I'm having fun and we're going to get a better draft pick. But, like, usually it's pain and agony and suffering.
Of course.
Yeah. So we've got like 15 minutes left until we hit an hour. Is there anything just other that you want to talk about? I'm sure there's something stirring around in your
mind pot.
Your noggin.
In my mind pot.
Oh, I see what you did there. It took me a second.
Yeah.
It's in there.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Vine pot. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because the
Yeah, because
um
you stir in the pot
my
like James Harden.
yeah.
That's what he does. Yeah.
That's so dumb. Well,
Oh my goodness.
before I go off on this whole thing, so
Oh
that
no.
before I go on to a completely different topic, so that we
Oh,
don't
okay.
so that we don't lose our audience.
Right, of course.
Well, this isn't about that's about football. Injuries have been crazy this year. Like Tua going down with his head injury,
Yeah, dude, that was terrifying. I saw that live.
horrible. Who else got hurt real bad like that?
Um, shit.
Was it Juju?
I mean, Juju just got hurt like that. Yeah, he got rocked.
Yeah. And I like what the 49ers are doing because that's the only helmets I've seen that are different. It looks like they have more protection on the front of their helmets. Like George Kittle has that at least.
I mean, I don't know if it's more protection. I think it's just a different style.
It looks cool. And it
I
reminds
noticed a lot of helmets or a lot of players are wearing new helmets. And maybe there is more protection to it. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to the helmets.
Yeah.
But like speaking of helmets, I want to ask, did you happen to see just real quick, did you happen to see when the Bears rocked the orange helmet and orange jersey combo?
I think I've seen pictures, but like it's in like the blurry part of my mind, you know?
Look it up real quick. Tell me it isn't Heat.
I know it's Heat.
Because I think
it's gotta be.
I'm apparently the only one that thinks it is. I think they are wonderful.
Sheesh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Straight Heat, right?
That's Heat. That's very Heat.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
love that.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
I do
Oh,
like the yeah. Go ahead.
just real quick, also, I want to put this out there because I know some of the people that watch this are Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and there's one Pittsburgh Steelers fan in particular that I've been bullying ever since the trade deadline. Daniel, if you're watching this, I just want to remind you that Chase Claypool is no longer a Pittsburgh Steeler. He's now a Chicago Bear. He got so mad at me the day that happened, and I have been tormenting him with it ever since. And I just wanted to remind him because I know he's going to watch this.
Good.
And if he doesn't, oh well. But
He doesn't
I
want
had,
to get
I had to
very
bring it up
mad.
anyways. You go to school with him. Just show him that clip when this gets uploaded.
Yeah.
Be like, hey Daniel, come here, look at this, and then just show him.
And then he'll punch me in the face
Yeah,
immediately. Throw a straight left.
yeah. The most violent individual we know, Daniel, will just absolutely hit you with a haymaker and
He'll
then a
lose
left hook.
control. He'll lose
Yeah,
control.
he's finally gonna snap. All the years of bullying and calling him a freshie, even though he's a junior now. Fuck!
Oh, I was gonna say he's a sophomore now.
Oh, he's a sophomore, not a
No,
junior.
no.
He is a junior.
He's a junior. I was gonna say that he was a sophomore.
Yeah, because he's a year younger than you.
Oh my days.
Ew.
That's another thing I need to say. I just thought of.
Huh.
So you know Color Wars?
Yeah.
We
I'm already scared.
we did musical chairs.
Oh no.
Okay, so there's this is like a best day of my life. Best day of my
no.
life.
Andrew's career highlight came in musical chairs.
we did this thing this year where they're instead of having like one team represent every class, it was 3 teams represented every class.
Okay, more representation.
Yeah, the best team out of those 3 teams per class got selected for like the last bit of games.
Okay, so like a little tourney. I respect it.
It was very cool actually, and it was organized.
I wish they would have done that when I was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Would have been heat.
It was organized by my friend, so I give her all the credit.
No. Okay.
But so
yeah, because y'all are the seniors now. Y'all organize everything.
Exactly. It was
top dogs. Yeah.
It was very sick. But
okay.
So our team was the last one standing because we were absolutely dominant. We were a very versatile
of course.
team. We were the smartest, fastest, strongest team, of course. So
freaking superhuman Captain America is out here.
Exactly. And so they say musical chairs, bring out 2 members of your team, 2 members per team. So it was me and my friend Peyton Thomasy, shout out. And then my little brother and his friend are the freshmen. And
Okay.
then two nobodies from the sophomore class and
Okay.
two nobodies from the junior class.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought you were gonna say Daniel's coming in from the junior class. And I'll be like, oh my god, the powerhouse.
No.
Okay, that's too good.
Yeah,
I'm going too far with it.
it's too crazy.
Okay.
And let me tell you, my blood was pumping. The arena
Okay.
was bumping. It was
Okay.
crazy. I so much adrenaline was going through my body. I was literally shaking before the game even started. And we went in. Okay, sophomore girl got out first. Easy dub. I think
Okay.
Peyton bodied her out pretty
Okay.
easily. She didn't want it. She didn't have that dog in her. Okay.
She just wasn't in it. Okay.
She wasn't in it. Okay. And then the junior got out. One of the juniors got out next.
Okay.
And then I target Sully. I target him. We're all standing. He's supposed to be on the opposite side of the circle as me. I walk over to the other side and I stand next to him as the music starts. Then I go over and the music stops. We're at the same chair. I sit on it. He sits on my lap and the chair gets knocked over.
Oh no.
I stand up, put the chair down, sit down, cross my leg. He walks off. I follow him and I'm waving him off.
Oh my god, to his own brother, ladies and gentlemen. His own brother.
Then the other sophomore girl gets out. The other sophomore girl is like the most dominant female athlete in the school's history. She's a sophomore. She has, I think, 5 track records.
Jesus.
And yeah, she's kind of crazy. But
kind of good at the whole athleticism thing.
Sport ball thing, yeah.
Sport ball, yeah.
T gets her out on a controversial call. Okay, you have to
controversial. Okay,
it's the seniors. Okay, you understand. This got to
give the refs a little.
Exactly.
And
then I get Sully's friend has been talking all this crap the whole time. He says that he's going to get revenge for Sully. I get him out. I follow him off. I wave him off. Okay.
The disrespect.
I was on my game there. So then it's me and T versus this junior, and there's 2 chairs left. And T, we're like, if we lose this, I'm never going to show my face at Allegheny ever again.
Just got to drop out at that point.
I would drop out. So it's me and T against this junior, and he says to box the kid out, and I'm like,
oh my goodness.
I'm like, what are you saying? And the music stops. T gets out. I cry. I fall on my knees. And I scream, no. So it's me and this kid, and I'm like, oh my god, the blood's pumping, the air is bumping, the noise is so loud, and we're going around. The music stops. I pull the chair out from under the kid, and I sit on it. But we're not allowed to pull the chairs out from under kids.
Oh, that's lame.
I know.
That's so lame.
I ran over and I appealed to the referee. I said, please, I didn't hear the rule. Let us replay. We replay. I sit on the chair. Area explodes. The whole arena explodes. I grab the chair and I raise it above my head and I walk over to the seniors, and they're freaking out. I get picked up by Thomas Melvin, the bear. He's a bear. He's a polar bear. He picks me up. He holds me in the air for 20 seconds, literally like a little baby. And so yeah, best day of my life. But then I walk around the hallways and I get called the cheater now. So
the cheater. Listen. That's what they call Tom Brady.
Exactly. He's the GOAT.
Exactly.
They're all haters.
Listen. You just got to go on AML tomorrow and be like, listen. To address the rumors, it was clean. It was fair. Do your best Donald Trump impression. It was clean. It was fair. My good friend, Tom Brady, they call him a cheater. He's not a cheater. He's a winner, just like me. It's a terrible Trump impression. But
it'll work.
Brian White will allow it. Tell him you got the David Miller seal of approval, and he'll throw you right in.
Absolutely,
if my opinion means anything anymore. Apparently it does. I got a shout out on AML
you did.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah. Dude, that felt... Listen, that was my main character moment. 2 years removed from that high school, and I get a message from Brian White. Watch AML. So I watch it. The Bears won, and somewhere David Miller is smiling. It's the goofiest shit in the world, but I genuinely felt like.
And they still do the in Allen.
Yeah, I started a fucking trend with that.
It's so sick. I love it. I get a little smile on my face every time they do that.
Oh my goodness, that was my peak. That was my main character era when I was the sport guy. Meanwhile, this kid is just a living main character throughout.
Hey man,
he's gonna show up to college his first day and bag a senior. I'm kidding.
I don't think so.
I'm joking. It's all jokes. It's satire. I didn't mean it. No, he's gonna show up the first day and beat up a senior.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I meant by bag. Senior. That's what I meant. Like he's gonna put him in a body bag.
Yeah.
So bag him up. That's definitely what I meant.
Yeah,
that's absolutely what I meant. Dude, I just say words sometimes. Like, I'm not gonna lie. All right, since you had a high school story, I'll give you a college story. This one's not as eventful at all. No adrenaline, no blood pumping. So I show up to class, or I show up to school, like on campus, 20 minutes before my class starts. And I'm sitting in like the little common area. I get an email from my professor, who's this big, older Southern gentleman named Kim. And Kim sends out an email. Sorry, folks, canceling class last second today. I had an emergency. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get out of my first class. I'm sitting there on my phone in the corner. I look up from my phone as I finish reading the email. Mr. Hicks and Kim is sitting there with a Starbucks in one hand and a bagel in the other. And we make eye contact. And he's just like, and turns and walks away. He winked at me, turned and walked away. And I was like, you know what? I respect it. But he just didn't want to teach that day.
He didn't want to teach that day.
He didn't want to teach. And like, you know what? I can't even be mad. I got out of class. I got a great story out of it.
Oh
it wasn't as fun as your story by any means. But, you know, we take it. We'll take it.
Oh, man.
See, that's the thing about college, at least for me, because I don't do college things. You know, I don't live on campus. I don't go to parties. Just not for me. I'm not about that kind of stuff. That's the excitement of my college, is just seeing my professor out in the wild skipping class.
That's crazy. And high school teachers have the audacity to say that college teachers won't let that slide.
Your professors won't let that slide. Yeah. I have one professor who cares about attendance. In all, like, I have 5 classes this semester, and I have one professor who cares about attendance. Next semester, I have 2 online courses, 3 in-person courses, and I'll only have to go to school twice a week.
Jeez, man.
And I don't have to go in until 11 a.m. That's the time the class starts.
That makes me mad.
And my courses are all fun.
Oh my god.
Like, I have intro to theater. I have journalistic writing, which is literally just like teaching me how to become the next Adam Schefter or Woj. I've got philosophy 101. I'm going to learn how to think, which that's great. A man from Kenya, nonetheless, is going to teach me how to think.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What else do I have? I have another mass comm class and then something else. I don't remember my full schedule, but like some of the stuff is cool and fun. I don't know. College sucks though. I don't like it.
I feel like I'm gonna absolutely adore college.
What are you gonna major in again?
Mass comm and theater, I think.
Oh yeah. See, I'm considering doing that. I'm considering minoring in theater, but I might minor in journalism. I haven't decided yet. Because I'm on a theater kick again. Like, I am all over everything theater. I've been watching videos about failed Broadway productions like Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Oh, yeah.
I've been watching bootlegs of different musicals. I watched American Psycho, the musical, the other day. It was a trip, dude. It shouldn't exist, but it works.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen American Psycho, just the movie?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I watched it for the first time like a month ago, and it was great. I love that movie so much. It is absolutely fantastic. And then to watch a musical where they turn the scene of them all sitting at the desk admiring each other's business cards into a power love ballad towards the cards is it makes no sense. And the dude who played Patrick Bateman they started in London and then brought it to Broadway. So the London productions was fucking Matt Smith from Doctor Who and Morbius.
Oh my god.
Like,
That's wild. That is wild.
yeah, it's a trip. But yeah, I want to get back into theater and stuff, and I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do that. I've been saying this for months now, but I'm still just like, I'm scared. I haven't sang like actually trying in over 2 years now. Well, not over, almost 2 years, because my last show was my senior year.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even really a show. That show was
a thing. It was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the year after I leave, you fuckers just, let's do Be More Chill. Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Fuck
I
you.
didn't pick it. I didn't pick it, man.
Although I wouldn't have fit into that cast. That cast was perfect. But like, I would have liked to be there. Be in the ensemble. Would have been fun. Yeah, just smiling while this man is. They changed it. You weren't Keanu. You were
Jason.
Hold on. Yeah, I had it.
The lag, man. I'm sorry.
You stole it from me. I didn't actually have it. I was gonna say The Rock.
Oh.
I was like, it's somebody that's like in the middle, not white, but like a little darker. Jason Momoa. Damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, real quick, Andrew, what do you know about Batman? Like in pop culture, people who have played Batman.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going with that.
Okay, so you know who Kevin Conroy is?
Yeah, of course.
I couldn't not bring him up just because it's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, Kevin Conroy was Batman. He didn't just play Batman, he was Batman. You play a character for 30 years consistently. You know, you are that character at that point.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad to see. We'll just end real quick. I want to tell a little story that I heard the other day about him. So he lived in New York, and right after 9/11, he volunteered in soup kitchens, which awesome. Great dude. And he said one day, a couple days into it, everyone was real quiet. Nobody was really talking. And one of the guys he was working with walks over and he goes, "What do you do for a living? What's your day job?" "I'm an architect. What do you do?" And he goes, "Oh, I do voices." And he said, "I knew it. You're Batman." And then he walks over to the other room and tells the other guys, he's like, "Guys, that's Batman in there." And he said there was a pause. And somebody goes, "Bullshit." So Kevin Conroy does like the iconic, "I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman." He said everyone went quiet and then went, "Holy shit, it's Batman." And he said it was just like the rest of the time he worked there, everyone wanted to hear him be Batman and do the Batman voice. And the guy who originally called him out was like, "How does it feel to be bigger than Santa Claus?"
That's crazy. That is
Yeah. Like, could you imagine, like, just being that big, being that popular for playing one character for that long across so many different mediums, video games, movies, cartoons, every medium imaginable. He was Batman. Even people who like, read comics, they read Batman's voice in Kevin Conroy's voice. It's insane.
Yeah.
And, being a big Batman fan, I could not bring that up just because, he was an absolute legend. So, rest in peace to Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
But that being said, we actually did it. We recorded right around an hour.
I'm shocked personally.
I am befuddled. That's a big word.
Oh my goodness. Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. Oh my God. What 2 years of college does to a motherfucker right there. But anyways, that's going to be it for this. Oh, we got to ask a question. Who's your favorite superhero? I know who yours is.
Yeah, I know who yours is.
Well, who's mine?
Yours is Nightwing.
Okay, and yours is Spider-Man. But
Fantastic.
specifically, Ben Riley.
Yes. Well done. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. All right. So in the comments below, let us know who your favorite superhero is. Because, you know, in honor of Kevin Conroy, just leave your favorite superhero and then a quick little RIP Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. We're back. We're going to be posting weekly once again. And, you know, hopefully on a consistent schedule. We'll figure that out as we go.
Yeah.
But to everyone out there watching, I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you all enjoy it because you're all wonderful people and you deserve it. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Fine, I can cut it off. I tried to leave the studio instead of end the recording.
Ooh, that would not